Good morning. It's just after 5 a.m. here in Calgary, and we're going to do a practice which I love to call ease as the foundation to strength. And the basis behind this practice is a lot of people think that ease is separate from strength, that you can't have ease inside of strength. And my philosophy is that we want to build the ease, and the ease is the foundation for the surge, which is the strength and the power. Without the ease, I don't think you would have really sustainable strength or power. So I want to help cultivate that because also so many people who come and follow me here and who work with me have come because they've got persistent pain. And so we spend a good chunk of time helping them down-regulate their nervous system, reconnect with their body, reduce compensations, build the ease. And then from there, we build upon that and add strength. That's when strength becomes really, really easy, yeah? But if you forget and don't apply that which you had gained in that early stages of improving your scenario and reducing your pain, if you just forget all of that which you become aware of, then it's not gonna work later on in strength. So I'd like to maintain this philosophy of ease all the way throughout because that reduces the amount of tension that's in your system and keeps your nervous system in a calmer space as you start to load it up, however you load it up. Whether it's through a practice that I'm showing you here, whether it's you adding weights, whether it's you're adding TheraBands, whether it's like whatever it is that you're adding for load, okay? So for today's practice, we're gonna use a strap. Now I've got a long one here. This is probably a 6 or an 8 foot strap. We're gonna start off with a Badakanasana. If you might do Badakanasana with a strap with something that's a different strap, that's fine. You can also use bolsters if you would like. We're gonna be here for a couple of minutes in this position. I'm gonna take this and I'm just gonna twist it. I'm gonna place it over my knees like that. I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller so that then I'm here. So now my legs are nice and supported. So I've got that with the strap. You could use bolsters if you want. The intent behind this position is simply to say good morning, or if you're doing this later in the day, is to simply say, hey, how did it go today? And so you're here, and we're just gonna breathe, okay? So the feet, I've got my feet a little further away from my hips. You can place your feet wherever you want to place them. The idea here is that your legs are being supported. So again, if you need to have bolsters, then do that. We want to help you settle in. There's a lot of people who think that if they have pain that they're weak, and then you must get stronger, which is not entirely true. There are aspects of it that are true, but it's not entirely true. There's some inefficiencies in movement patterns. There's likely an upregulated nervous system. There are parts of your body doing things that they probably ought not to be doing, and that all contributes to weakness. But if you just put strength on top of that kind of foundation, the strength is not going to help you. Not for long anyway. You might get some relief, but it won't be sustainable. So here, I just want you to settle in and just breathe. If you need to put bolsters under because that feels better, then do that, yeah? I'm just using this strap because it's one prop, super easy. We're gonna use the prop again in a bit, but totally up to you. Totally up to you. We do these ease as a foundation of strengths practices every Wednesday with the idea to transition from some of the smaller movements that I teach and the subtlety of the practice into something where people really feel like they're making some gains beyond just reduced pain. Like they can actually get back and walk the dog, feel comfortable on ice, consistently have less pain. Given that we're almost in winter, maybe it's about downhill skiing or cross country, or maybe you're on your wind trainer or your smart trainer on your bike and you want to go faster, you want to feel better, all of that stuff, this will help.
But remember, the key is awareness. You can't lose contact with that. Easy, easy, easy breathing. If you want to explore breathing through your pelvic floor, you may have done that in a previous practice with me. If you haven't, all it is you're thinking about where the orifices of your pelvic floor are. Thinking about your pelvic floor being the floor of your pelvis, but also with these orifices, there's a passageway of fluid and matter. So we want the floor to be both strong and supple and open. So imagine that you can breathe into the orifices of your pelvic floor. One more breath. And then bring the legs back together. Strap comes off for now. All right. Stretch your legs out. Just notice what you feel. Good. And then roll it over. Let's come into cat and cow. So now we're here, and it's just cat and cow. I tend to move from the pelvis first. You do your cat and cow the way you want. And so it's sequentially moving up your spine as best as you can. It's not that you can go like absolutely vertebrae by vertebrae, because it's not that we move one vertebrae, then the next one, then the next one, then the next one, but it is kind of interesting to feel the wave of it. And particularly through the pelvis and the abdomen, particularly after what you just did through your Badakanasana work. Good, and it just becomes really curious as you move through your breath. So this is your exhale. And then as you come into the cow part, which is the back bend, belly towards the floor, that's your inhale. There you go. Okay, good. Now let's come on up to standing. And we're going to take the strap now. And we're going to bring the strap so it's about shoulder width apart. And you're going to bring it up onto your elbows here. Like this. And so you're here with the strap. Okay. So you're going to just stand here for a moment. And so the arm is going into extension. The shoulders aren't rounding forward and the ribs aren't poking up. So we're just keeping ourselves as we are in standing, and the arm bones are moving back. Okay, now legs are going to come wide. We're going to rotate the leg bones in the hip sockets. Good. Arms are here, and now we're going to just lower down a little bit into goddess. Okay. Now here what's going to happen, we're just going to stay here for a little bit. Feel the 3 points in the bottom of your feet, the center of the heel, the ball of the foot, the base of the pinky toe. We're just going to move the legs wide. Or the arms wide, rather. Just rotate them here. And the idea here is I want to prevent your elbow from moving wide, right? Because a lot of times when we start to do rotation of the arm bone and the shoulder socket, the elbows either squinch into your body or they move wide. There's no resistance here yet. I just want you to notice that you're rotating your arm bones in your arm bones in your shoulder socket. Okay? Okay, now, come bring your legs up now. Okay, and now feel those 3 points again and sit back down. Now this time, we're here. Just notice your breathing. Now we're going to bring our strap this way, so it's below the elbows. And now we're going to move in. So we're not totally rotating. We're just pushing the forearm out into the strap. But watch to make sure that you're not overutilizing your armpit or your lats, like by the ribs. You're just moving your arms. You're just moving your arms wide into the strap. Be aware of your toes and be aware of your feet. Okay, good. Let the legs come up straight. Okay, so now you've got a little bit of awareness up through your arms. Your hands are going to come on the back side of your thighs now. Come back down into your bodies. Be aware of those bottoms of the feet. Yeah. The legs are going to press into the hands. Now, we're going to be here for a little bit. Let me actually put my timer on. Okay, so we'll be here for about a minute. Okay, so we're going to press the legs back into the hands. Watch what's going on in your breathing here. If you're finding that you're gripping up and through here, then just come up a little bit to a place where you're easily breathing. Because there's no point in like, with your breathing, because that's not going to help you gain strength. It's certainly not going to help you with your core. It's not going to help you with ease. So really just be in a place where you can breathe easy. We're going to be doing this in different variations over the next number of minutes. So you'll get a really great leg activity. And so I really want you to just cultivate this sense of easiness in your breathing. Yeah, so notice what's going on through your feet. Okay, good. Now feel your feet. Notice your hips and your knees, and then come back up again. Okay, good. So we're just going to do a little warrior two here. So rotating those leg bones, pelvis stays level. Just feel that. Okay, good. And then come back up. Rotate the leg bones. Pay attention to your pelvis. The pelvis will angle, but it's not going to become unlevel like this. Lovely. Okay, come back up. All right, here we go for another round. Okay, so now the legs are going to rotate. Feel those 3 points in the bottom of the feet. Okay, now you're here. I want you to pay attention to your pelvic floor and breathing in through the orifices of your pelvic floor like we did earlier, yeah? So feel those, whether it's 2 or 3, just breathe in through your pelvic floor. And then hands come onto the back side of your thighs. Now notice if that changes anything with the breath that you can or can't feel in your pelvic floor. Rotating those leg bones. So rotate them only as much as you can still feel the breath in through the pelvic floor. Feel your feet and now start to lower. Only lower as far as you can still breathe. So we'll be here for just over a minute this time. Yeah, it's a little bit longer. Pay attention to your toes and your feet. Pay attention to the breath through your pelvic floor. Yeah. Now I'll tell a little funny story here. For those of you who are watching and you might have some questions about, well, you might be teachers or health professionals, you might say, well, how do you cue this for a guy? And there might be some men here that are maybe wondering that same question. So here's the story I want to tell you. Years ago, one friend of mine who had a whole lot of back pain, he said to me, knowing the work that I was in, he said to me, you know, Susie, you just got to say it. You've just got to say it. And I'm like, what do I need to say? He said, tell guys to breathe through their balls. I'm like, okay, I will do that. He said, the reason being is he was taught that from a physical therapist and his back pain went away. So then I'm like, all right, it might get a little bit red under the collar when I wear a collar, but I'll do that. We won't avoid the topic. Yeah? And so since then, I have said that. And sometimes I have said what I'm about to say might sound a little strange, might sound a little crazy, but run with it. Sometimes there's a smirk, sometimes there's a little red in the skin, and every time it works. So I keep going with that. All right, lovely. Feel your feet. Good, and then come on up. All right, good. Let's bring the legs back. Okay, now rotate this leg bone out again. Pay attention to the breathing in the pelvic floor. Come into your warrior two again. Now let's start to take ourselves into a side, and then we're going to come back this way and take ourselves into a side. All right, so you can have your arms here if you like, or you can have them on your hips. Okay, good. All right, now from here, lift up. Okay, other side. And once you're here in warrior two and you feel decently connected, you don't have to come into extended or the version of extended side that you're going to do. You can just come back and forth. Good, just be aware of those feet, be aware of your breathing. Okay, good. We're going to do one more round here. So you're here now. Okay, rotate those leg bones out. Okay, hands behind your thighs. Notice your pelvic floor. Now this time as you drop, think about dropping right through your pelvis. Be aware of your breathing. So you're taking the awareness that you've already gained from the previous practice, yeah? And you're coming into the position. So you're not blasting through the signals that are telling you not to come down as far, right? You're paying attention to those signals. So maybe you need to be a little higher up. You pay attention to what's going on with your breathing. So you'll notice if I'm here, or if I'm here, or if I'm here, the way my voice is the same. So then that gives me a clue that I'm okay. I can feel my breathing. I can feel my breath in my pelvic floor. I can feel my feet. They're not gripping. My legs are shaking. Like there's effort in my legs, but there's not pain, there's not strain. It's like that, it's like there's a workout going on in my legs, which is very, very, very distinct from pain and strain. So you decide what level and where you want to be. All right, feel your feet, feel your hips, and then come on up. Okay, come into standing now. Okay, that was just over a minute for each of those. Good, and so now just stand, notice what it is that you feel here. Okay, let's grab the strap again and have it shoulder width apart. Let's bring it over top of those elbows again. Arms are here, and now let's just, while our legs are reconnecting, you can take those arms behind. Feel your feet, feel the center of your heel, ball of your foot, base of your pinky toe. All right, good, and let that come down. Okay, then let's bring ourselves down to the floor. All right, and then come back and just feel what it's like through your back and your pelvis and your legs. Bring one leg to your belly, followed by the other. Let's take that into a movement through the hips. As you exhale, the legs come in. Inhale, the legs come wide. Okay, now from here, one leg's going to come towards the floor. The other leg is going to follow. Shoulders, girdle's going to stay on the ground. And then the other leg comes up and just swinging left and right. Make sure that with the distance that you're coming is in relationship to what goes on with the opposite shoulder. So the shoulder is not going to rise up. Yeah. Really easy breathing. Lovely. Okay, and now coming back, rest your legs back and notice what you feel. So you can stay here for as long as you like. You might have a desire to do some other practice, so go ahead and do that. Or you might do what I'm doing, which is I'm going to head up and have some breakfast. So other than that, choose what you choose, enjoy your practice, be aware of what you've just gained in terms of your awareness, integrate it into the next pieces of your day, and we will see you tomorrow. We're doing back to basics tomorrow. Take good care. Have a great day.